What's wrong, huh? What is he doing? It's okay. You have the ball? There you go. Growing up here, like, wrestling was kind of my life. It was wrestling in school. After school, I'd come here and I'd wrestle. And then after I'd wrestle here, I'd go to Charlotte and wrestle at Dark Horse. Big shout out to Dark Horse because a lot of the stuff that I'm accomplishing now is because of them. Like, I don't think I'd be like wrestling in college if it wasn't for them. So 15, so I was all conference in 2015 up there at 152, and then 160 in 2016, and then again in, right there, yeah, 14 at 145. State medalist, I got 2 of those. I got third twice, 15 and 16. Me and Michael are the only brothers to ever come through Piedmont that have placed at state and are on the 100 wins club. He has 4 all conferences and I have 3, and I tore my ACL my freshman year, so I couldn't get those 4. So he kind of bragged about that and stuff like that. Right as I graduated, they won again. And again, my brother was on that team, so he can brag that he has a state title ring. Did I not tell you that?
She brought it up.
I told you.
I didn't bring it up.
No, so while we were in the wrestling room, I was like, every time I'm home, somebody always brings up that he has a state title ring and I don't. I told you I was prom king. And prom prince for my junior year.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm a big deal. I wore once, it's got my name on the back. I wore it once and lost and never wore it again. With all the seniors and us in our Pin Cancer shirts, it was a really cool tribute to our senior year. It was really, really cool. One of my favorite pictures, April Purser, I wrestled with her son, Austin. The ref raised his hand, I just threw this one up and was walking away, and she got a picture of it. It's at my house. Now, theater was by far my favorite class. It was one time that I actually had to wrestle, and then right after the wrestling match, I went to go do a play, or like go rehearse. Yeah, like I had to leave immediately. It was funny. I took it my freshman year, and then it just kind of like like Miss Sanderson was just like so awesome, and just stuck with it. Oh, it's open, sick. If I wasn't hanging out in the wrestling room, I was hanging out in here. You know, it was really, really cool. I loved, this was by far my favorite, one of my best experiences I had at Piedmont. It was awesome. One of the ones I remember the most was called The Perfect Ending. And so I was like the main character, but not the main character. My only job was I had this chair, and I walk in, and then I say a few lines, talk to my wife, and I sit down in this chair, open up a newspaper, and I sat there for 45 minutes. Didn't say a word for 45 minutes. And then the world ends and everybody kind of dies. I close the paper and I say, perfect ending. Last time I came, well, so I came back a couple weeks ago, but I didn't come in here. I came to a wrestling match. Coach Belt grabbed the mic and goes, hey, I'd like to announce that we have two-time national qualifier upstate wrestler. And I was like, what, who? And I'm just like looking around like, what? And so I'm just like awkwardly waving at the thing, at the stands. And I went up to Coach Belk, I was like, you could have told me that you were gonna do that. He goes, nah, that would have been less fun. It's really cool to be a part of this program because it's got such a good history about it. And that's one thing that I love about App State is that they have that same history. Like, we are very successful in the conference. We are expected to win. We have a very the mindset of winning, and that's how it was here. So it's really cool to make that transition. It's the exact same. One of the biggest things that brought me to App was the fact that I knew I wanted to wrestle, obviously, but like if there was some reason I didn't want to wrestle anymore, or like I got an injury and it prevented me from wrestling, I knew that I wanted to be at App regardless. The school, the environment there, the whole thing, like I just knew like if something happened and I couldn't wrestle anymore, then that's the school I'd actually want to be at. And then wrestling was just kind of a bonus. We build up in-state guys. I mean, Coach Bentley always talks about how he loves to take from in-state guys and see how they do. And he's really, really good at building up. I mean, Denzel, our All-American from heavyweight a couple years back, he was a North Carolina native, kind of like me. Like, he never won a state title. I think he got second his senior year. Never really an All-American in high school, but he was top 8 in the nation, you know, and he was a hammer. That guy was awesome. All these guys from North Carolina are just like thriving at App. It's crazy to see that happen. Like me, for example, 3 of our national qualifiers were from North Carolina, and it's crazy to see how this is working out.